Hello there, wonderful world of YouTube. This is your girl, SwimmstaGal, coming at you guys with my January Plan With Me video. As you guys can see, the clip at the beginning is a little bit slowed down because we're going to do things a little differently for this spread. So for those of you guys that have been with me for a while, usually I do printouts for my spreads and I usually just pencil in or basically draw in the cover. In this case, I'm going to be doing basically nothing printed. It's all going to be me pen to paper. And for that reason, we're going to start backwards. So we're going to start from my last spread and go forward to the cover page. The reason being is that since the very beginning of this spread, I wanted to add touches of watercolor, which you guys are going to see. I just wanted to do something a little bit different to what I did last year because I do just kind of enjoy zoning in and just going for it. I will say this, it has been an incredibly long time since the spread has taken me this long to complete. I think I did this in 2 or possibly 3 sessions. It was first I have to trace everything onto a transfer paper of sorts, then I put it onto the notebook, and then from there it's pen to paper. So it was a very, very long setup, but I love the outcome of it, as you guys are gonna probably see later on in the video. I was like, you know what, totally worth it. So what you guys see me doing here is I'm just drawing I guess a minimalist art style in this case, in which you just do some key features but you don't really map out their eyes. This is something or a style you guys probably saw with the printouts I did, where the color of the characters was in, their outfits were colored in, but there was no real detail in the face. I went with this style for one of the main reasons was I am horrible at drawing the eyes. I need a lot of practice, which is something I'm going to be doing this year. I just didn't want to go through the stress of drawing everything out. Everything looks so nice and then the eyes just come out botched. So you know what, well, the eyes that I feel comfortable drawing, I'll draw, and then for the other ones we'll just go with this minimal style, which I think really added to the theme, which for those of you guys that haven't figured it out is 7 Deadly Sins. 7 Deadly Sins is an anime I finished toward the end of the year and was like, you know what, I'm incredibly excited, let's go. What you see me doing here is just framing out the characters, so just drawing a thick border and then filling in that border. I felt like this just added a little bit more of a centralized touch per se, or basically a really nice detail that brought attention to the characters so that the page didn't look so flat. And for the titles of the spreads, I just went with a font that looks similar to the 7 Deadly Sins title font. Here we're switching up gears and going to a different angle, but again I just went with the title font that looks similar to the one that you guys see on the anime, and I went ahead and filled it in. Up until now I haven't really used watercolor that's bougie or expensive. I've been getting along just fine with my $5 watercolor palette from Michaels. So when I saw the pigment on this, just a dip of the pen and straight to the paper, I was, for a lack of better words, I was shook. This has wash consistency for some colors, like that pink. It it just went on so pigmented. I was so surprised because I was going for more of a watered down look for all of these. So when I saw that, you know, the purple was like super pigmented and the pink was just like straight up like it looked like wash, I was just like, you know what, we're gonna have to change some things. But you know what, live and learn, practice makes perfect. So for Bond, I just went ahead and did like a silver accent because I did red for the captain's tie. That finished up this particular spread. Now we're gonna move on to the next ones. So what you see me doing here is just, you know, putting like a little layer of paper. I am very heavy handed, so I was kind of scared that the, you know, the micron was gonna transfer over to the other page while I finished up the other spreads. So that's something you're gonna see commonly happening throughout these particular ones. I'm just gonna continue swapping them out so that the spread that's completed doesn't transfer over to the other page. Here we're doing my habit trackers, and I decided to draw in Escanor's Sacred Treasure. It's the Divine Axe, and if I'm not mistaken, it's called Rita. I was like, you know, who better than Escanor, you know, big strong Escanor, to kind of bring in the habits. Right? Am I right? Alright, but yes, so following the similar trend, I just went ahead and filled in the title, simple, you know, black letters. For Rita, I did decide to go in again with some watercolor, and you're also going to see some metallic gel pens. Here I was again surprised by the pigment of the yellow. Not so much from the blue or the navy blue you guys see me putting down, because it didn't go down as like, you know, like bam, like it's covered everything. Like that one had more of the effect I wanted originally, which was, you know, just like a light hint of watercolor, but then you go in to like layer it, because, you know, layering usually gives you a little bit more dimension. But you know, I was like, go yellow. That was a very bright one. When I noticed that the yellow wasn't really what I was going for, I just grabbed some Jelly Roll metallic pens. I chose 2 shades. It was like a brassy copper tone, and then a little one that's a little bit more like a cool tone gold. And this is just like, you know, kind of make it look shiny, like it's actually kind of like you know, metal or actual gold. After stamping in the dates, which I'll just, you know, basically fill in the days or cross out the days I actually complete the task, I went ahead and got another gold watercolor. These are like the ones that are more commonly used. The name escapes me as of right now, but I'll make sure to put it down below for you guys to check out. That one definitely gave me more of the gold I was looking for, which was quite nice. Moving on to the next page, I went ahead and used the little baby Gother. He's not a baby, but it's more like, I believe, what is considered to be a chubby. Could be mistaken, could not be, but I went ahead and did Gother for the mood tracker. This might be a slight spoiler, it might not be a slight spoiler, but be forewarned, I put Gother in for my mood tracker just because I know on his path of 7 deadly sins, it's him not having a heart and not being able to understand like common emotion and certain things like that. But you know, for those of you guys that have watched it at like towards the end, is it the end or like towards one of the like the last couple of seasons, he kind of does discover the fact that he does have a heart, and now he's just kind of rediscovering what emotions are. So I thought, who more fitting than the goat sin of lust, Gother. And for Gother, I didn't color him in simply because I was going to be placing in the colors I chose for my mood tracker. You'll be seeing that very shortly. And I just didn't want it to be too much of a competition between colors. So I just left him unfilled. Now, just a quick tip for those of you guys that do use like the circle stencil. Make sure to wipe off the inside between colors, because if not, you will get transfer. I had that happen with the red, between the red and the purple. which wasn't like the biggest deal because it was just at the edge, but just keep that in mind. And here we're going back to my page calendar. This was something I commonly did in the themes of 2021, where I just take one page and, you know, we go very simple square calendar. I went with a green / yellow orange tone for these, just to represent Diane and King. So again, here you guys see we're just doing a very basic January for the title, since that is the month we are setting up for. Moving on, we're gonna go ahead and in a similar art style, we're gonna draw out Diane and King. Spoiler alert, I'm drawing them together because, you know, they're end game. And then just as a nice little decorative thing, I went ahead and did Diane's Sacred Treasure, her Warhammer. I thought it looked really nice with the page, you know. When I went in with the copper gel pens, which you guys are going to see in, I feel like it added a really nice touch to the spread. And similar to the other drawings, we're going to go ahead and frame them out. And then here I'm just filling in certain areas just out of pop, because if you do the whole thing with the same color, it's just gonna be very flat. And then just simply for the month, I went ahead and did a to-do, which would kind of go and be a running to-do where I just place tasks and then I'll just check them off when they're done, regardless of time throughout the month. Now here we're going for, a lack of a better term, the big daddy of the spread, which is our title cover. It has pretty much like all of the main characters on this. And this was incredibly time consuming. It took me like an hour and a half to get all this done and put, but the end results was just chef's kiss, we could say. Now, something I did kind of change in the art style of these was I outlined the characters with the 0.5 micron. When instead of doing the 0.8, you know, my thick boy, I just went with the 0.5 and I outlined the characters, which is what you're seeing right now. On the inside, I went in with the 0.1. I thought that this would make like each character kind of stand out a little bit more and give, like I said, some type of like dimension or a little bit more to the page where they don't land so flat. I originally had intended to add watercolor to this spread as well, you know, do certain accents for certain things that the characters have. I just did not want to risk me not liking the end product of that. So to compensate for it, so that the characters in my mind at least kind of stood out a little bit more, I just outlined them with a thicker pen. So as you can see here, I'm just going, you know, outlining the characters, and then I just go in with the smaller one for the details. And with this title page, we are actually nearing the end of our video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate the support. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you guys are interested in watching more. Stay tuned for February's video. It might be a nice surprise for some of you guys. Some of you guys might be expecting it. If you guys would like sneak peeks into future spreads and future themes, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at SwimmstaGal. But yeah, just don't forget to follow me on SwimmstaGal, and you guys will get closer looks at all these spreads. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!